Well, they are going to import a lot of coal, and we've got lots of coal to sell them. And it's good coal. I can talk for hours about that since I'm involved right now with coal and biochar and rare earths and other things. It's not going to save Germany. Germany's problems now are far worse than that. What's happened over the last few years is that we've finally succeeded in implementing the Morgenthau plan with Germany's, support and assistance. We've deindustrialized it, turning it into a rural pasture, if you will, which was what Morgenthau tried to do under FDR. It's a catastrophe. The Germans are going to wake up. They're already beginning to understand what a terrible position they're in, and they know that we're mightily responsible for it. But remember that Scholz and his friends have all followed us blindly down the path to hell. And that's their problem now. And I think that will be Trump's attitude, sadly.
Douglas Macgregor's analysis paints a grim picture of Germany's current state, warning that the once dominant industrial giant of Europe is on the brink of economic collapse. To fully grasp his argument, we need to take a deep dive into Germany's historical industrial success, its recent policy decisions, and the external pressures shaping its downfall. To understand the gravity of Germany's current predicament, we must first appreciate its journey to becoming an industrial powerhouse. Post-World War II, Germany was devastated. Its infrastructure destroyed, its economy in ruins. The Marshall Plan, combined with German ingenuity, resilience, and a strong industrial base, allowed the country to rebuild rapidly. By the 1950s, the Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle, had transformed Germany into Europe's economic engine. Manufacturing became the heart of Germany's economic success. From automotive giants like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz to chemical and engineering firms like BASF and Siemens, Germany's industrial sector set the gold standard worldwide. But central to this success was access to affordable and reliable energy. For decades, Germany relied on coal, nuclear energy, and, more recently, Russian natural gas to power its industries. This energy security allowed Germany to remain competitive in global markets. Douglas Macgregor's reference to the Morgenthau Plan is both provocative and insightful. Proposed during World War II, the Morgenthau Plan aimed to deindustrialize Germany, turning it into an agrarian society incapable of waging war. While the plan was never fully implemented, Macgregor argues that modern policies, driven by both internal decisions and external pressures, have effectively achieved the same result. Germany is voluntarily dismantling its industrial backbone, and the consequences are catastrophic. Germany's industrial might has always depended on access to cheap and abundant energy. For decades, Russian natural gas provided the foundation for this energy security. The Nord Stream pipelines symbolized this partnership, delivering affordable gas directly to Germany. But the geopolitical fallout from the Ukraine conflict has severed this lifeline. The destruction of the Nord Stream pipelines was a turning point, forcing Germany to scramble for alternative energy sources. Macgregor points out that while Germany is now importing coal, it's a short-term fix at best. Coal is less efficient, more polluting, and far more expensive than the natural gas Germany once relied on. Moreover, Germany's decision to shut down its nuclear power plants, a move driven by political and environmental pressures, has further exacerbated the crisis. The result? Skyrocketing energy costs, factory closures, and a mass exodus of businesses to more energy-stable regions. Germany's industrial sector, once the envy of the world, is now in a state of decline. Macgregor is particularly critical of German leadership, singling out Chancellor Olaf Scholz for his role in this crisis. Scholz and his administration have, in Macgregor's words, followed us blindly down the path to hell. From imposing sanctions on Russia to shutting down nuclear power plants, Scholz has prioritized ideological alignment with the West over pragmatic energy policies. This blind allegiance to U.S. policy has left Germany vulnerable, reliant on costly energy imports, and unable to sustain its industrial economy. But the blame doesn't rest solely on Scholz. German leaders across the political spectrum have contributed to this decline, prioritizing short-term political gains over long-term national interests. Macgregor's remarks about Donald Trump's likely attitude offer a sobering insight into U.S.-German relations. During his first term, Trump criticized Germany's reliance on Russian energy and questioned the US's role in subsidizing European security. If Trump adopts a similar stance in his second term, Germany may find itself isolated. Macgregor suggests that Trump will view Germany's predicament as a self-made problem, one that the US has little obligation to solve. This shift in US policy could have profound implications, not just for Germany but for the entire European Union. Germany's decline is not happening in a vacuum. It's part of a larger shift in the global balance of power. Russia, despite Western sanctions, has managed to weather the economic storm, finding new markets for its energy exports in Asia. Meanwhile, China is expanding its economic influence in Europe, exploiting the vacuum left by Germany's decline. For the United States, Germany's struggles raise uncomfortable questions about the sustainability of its European alliances. Can NATO remain cohesive if its leading economic member falters? And what does this mean for the West's ability to counter rising powers like Russia and China? Beyond the economic and geopolitical implications, Germany's decline has a profound human cost. Rising energy prices are squeezing households, unemployment is climbing, and social unrest is brewing. The German people, who have long enjoyed one of the highest standards of living in the world, are now grappling with a harsh new reality. This social upheaval could have far-reaching consequences, both domestically and across Europe. Despite the grim outlook, Germany's decline is not inevitable. But recovery will require bold and decisive action. First, Germany must address its energy crisis. This means rethinking its stance on nuclear power, exploring new energy partnerships, and investing in sustainable technologies. Second, German leaders must prioritize national interests over ideological alignment. This may mean reevaluating their relationship with the United States and pursuing a more independent foreign policy. Finally, Germany must focus on revitalizing its industrial sector. This will require significant investment, innovative policies, and a commitment to long-term growth. Douglas Macgregor's analysis serves as a stark warning, not just for Germany but for the entire West. The decisions made today will shape the future of Europe for generations to come. Germany's decline is a cautionary tale of what happens when ideological commitments overshadow practical realities. The question now is whether German leaders have the vision and courage to change course, or whether they will continue down the path to decline. According to Douglas Macgregor, well, they're going to import a lot of coal, and we've got lots of coal to sell them, and it's good coal. I can talk for hours about that since I'm involved right now with coal and biochar and rare earth and other things. It's not going to save Germany. Germany's problems now are far worse than that. What's happened over the last few years is that we've finally succeeded in implementing the Morgenthau Plan. With Germany's support and assistance, we've deindustrialized it, turning it into a rural pasture, if you will, which was what Morgenthau tried to do under FDR. It's a catastrophe. The Germans are going to wake up. They're already beginning to understand what a terrible position they're in, and they know that we're mightily responsible for it. But remember that Scholz and his friends have all followed us blindly down the path to hell, and that's their problem now. And I think that will be Trump's attitude, sadly. Thanks for watching.